Welcome to Reparenting Daily, your free daily guide for inner child healing and repairing the relationship with yourself. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is the daily reading, the second is a discussion of the reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is peaceful binaural beats meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you could join us on this journey of self-expansion. If this is your first time here, welcome. As a celebration of passing episode 700, I've opened a free membership tier for the Patreon community so you can access additional resources and join the weekly Zoom calls for free. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now and that so many people are really struggling. My hope here is to still encourage others to continue the work on reparenting and to offer a free community where people can come together and do that. I'd also like to thank all of you who've been along on the journey so far. Just as a reminder, this is a free podcast, but you can support the project by purchasing the Reparenting Daily Journal, where you can follow us along all year. This 333-page journal gives you extra insight and resources for each week, and also provides space for you to keep your notes. Another way to support the podcast is to purchase the Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, volumes 1 through 3. This collection organizes famous and obscure fairy tales from around the world into the 3 phases of the hero's journey. While you might think that fairy tales are for kids, I'd like to challenge you. These stories contain profound truths and lessons carried down over millennia that we can use in our reparenting journey. It's a fun way to reconnect with your inner child. Each volume comprises 10 fairy tales. They include an analysis section to help you dive deeper into the message, as well as journal prompts and space to reflect on the story's meaning in your life. Lastly, you can also support the project by taking a paid Patreon subscription, by purchasing the books on the website, or by donating via Buy Me a Coffee. You can find all this information on the Support Us section of the website. So now, with these announcements out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Today, we're going to be listening to a portion of a podcast. It's entitled Gamifying Your Life for Success. It's from Michael Unbroken, and he's interviewing Jarvis Leverson, who is discussing a book that he has just published. It's only a very short section, so I encourage you to check out the entire episode. So I'm not going to do a reflection portion today. I encourage you to listen to the entire episode because it's a very good way to approach the topic of this week. By the way, we're in August. We're in April, and the theme is developing structure and discipline. We're in week 2 now, and the theme is building supportive routines. So this episode is really important because it helps you understand how to build those supportive routines by gamifying them. So as you will hear in this short clip, he gives an example of one of his friends who found a way to gamify his Spanish language learning, and then this person took and extrapolated that to other areas to see how we can use gamification to help build more sustainable habits for our health, physical health, our life, and overall success. So without further ado, here's the interview. Again, we won't do a reflection, but I encourage you to listen to the interview in its entirety by clicking on the link in the show notes.
I was talking to a friend of mine. We used to be, working in a business, colleagues at a company that I work with. And he called me, like, right, kind of like when I was in the depths of my low moments, living on my mom's couch. And he's like, "Man, Jarvis, hey," and I could hear there was this excitement on his voice. And I was like, "Man, what's up, bro? Like, why you got this like infectious spirit?" He's like, "Oh man, I'm just coming off a high. I just completed 365 days in a row of learning Spanish." And, I'm like, "Okay, well, what's the big deal about that?" And he's like, "No, Jarvis, you don't understand. You see, like, so I know him and his family. He's got this beautiful Mexican wife. He's South African. And so he has this thick South African accent. He's got a Mexican wife. They have 2 beautiful children. And his wife wanted their children to be raised deep in their Mexican roots. And so she spoke to them in Spanish. And then her mother was the kid's caretaker that lived in the house with them. It was their nanny. And so she spoke to the kids and spoke to everybody else in the house in Spanish. And so all day long, his entire house only speaks Spanish and he doesn't understand a word of it. And so he was like, "You don't understand how painful this has been for me. Like ever since me and my wife has been married, I can't communicate with anyone in my family in their native language. And I've struggled with this for years. I've been trying to take classes. I enrolled at the local college, and none of it stuck. Life got busy, and I could never build this habit." And I was like, "Wow, man." Okay. He was like, "And like I'm so excited because yesterday I talked to my mother-in-law. I had a full conversation with my mother-in-law for the very first time in Spanish." He's like, "That's why this means so much to me." I was like, "Okay, I get it. I get it." I was like, "Well, what was the difference? What helped you build this habit that you struggled with for so long?" He was like, "Well, there's this app called Duolingo." And, Duolingo essentially it turned this learning Spanish into a game because every day I would get a hot streak and I would get points and I would go off on these little challenges. And like pretty soon it came about. playing the game and trying to win the game. And in the process of me just trying to win this game, I was learning Spanish in the process. And he was like, so, gosh, it was because Duolingo gamified it for me. I was able to stick with it. And now it's just a part of my being. It's just something I do every single day. I just open the app and I take a Spanish lesson. I don't even think about it. And so I got off the call with him and I was like, wow, that's powerful. That's powerful how the psychology of turning it into a game helped someone build this habit of learning Spanish. So like, if it could work for him for learning Spanish, could that same psychology work for other goals in life, goals that actually like help lead to your success and happiness? Now, I'm not saying learning Spanish doesn't lead to success, but I was like, could it work for other more meaningful goals like your health, your wealth, your relationships? Could we turn those things into a game? And so that's why I went on this 5-year journey of trying to understand what are the habits that lead to ultimate success and happiness, and how do we gamify them so that people can build ultimate consistency? Because what I know to be true is everyone knows what to do. Knowing isn't the problem. Doing it every day is the problem. And so I believe your success is not a product of the things you do every now and then. Your success and happiness is a product of the things you do every damn day. And so I kind of went on this journey of how do you build every damn day consistency? And it's all came down to turning your life into a game. And that's what that's what I did. That's kind of what I talk about in this book, is how to turn your life into a game so that you can build a 5-star life.
I think it's interesting because I don't believe that most people understand that their life is a game. Like you are playing
Right.
this game, and they
Yeah.
don't understand that every decision that they make is either moving them to or away from their goals, to who it is that they choose to be, or just by happenstance and accident, somebody you end up becoming.
Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a place where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for the next 10 minutes. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you most comfortable today. Just take some time to listen to yourself. Next, be sure that you're taking time to be with your breath and to connect more fully with your body. Don't be disturbed or overwhelmed by your thoughts. Simply allow them to pass. Just observe them. Do not engage with your thoughts. Only be mindful of them passing, as if they are leaves drifting down top of a river. Use this time to connect with yourself, whatever time of day you are listening to this. Namaste.